Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another random rant about a random thing that I'm probably going to rant about. Possibly the winter in Florida, because this is not. Hey, who's that?
Hello, my name is Kiki Ayarumi, and I am your fairy trad wife.
What?
Your fairy trad wife. I'm here to show you the 8 steps you need in order to be the best wife for the rest of your life.
Well, respectfully, fairy trad Stepford godmother, I did not. I don't want this.
Yes, you do. Everyone wants to be married, so let's go down the rabbit hole of trad wives and Stepford wives.
What?
You heard me.
I know, and I'm scared.
Rule number 1.
Wait.
So, today we're going to go over the 8 rules of being the most perfect wife for your husband. What do you say, Kiki?
I don't want to be here.
That's okay. You'll learn to love it eventually. Step number 1, you have to cook and clean every single day. A wife's job is never done, especially if she's a mom. You always have to cook and clean because if you don't, who else will?
My husband? My kids?
Well, of course, when you have your daughter, she can help you clean, but until then, it's solely on you.
Why only my daughter? Why if I have only boys?
Well, c'est la vie. Either you keep having one until you can make a daughter, or you do everything yourself. But to ask your male partner and your male sons to cook and clean? That is so mean. And speaking of children, that's rule number 2. As a wife and a mother, you are solely responsible for your children. You must know about their mental health, their physical health, their education, their activities, their schoolwork, their after activities work, their emotional support system. You are everything and all and more.
And my husband?
Well, he goes to work and he pays the bills, so he's not really needed in that regard.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who has been saying that?
Number 3, you might also need a job.
Wait a minute, you just told me that my husband was paying for everything.
No, I didn't, silly. I said he was working. But with today's world and economy, with eggs being $12 now, a second income would be so helpful. And all you do is sit around all day and cook and clean. Why not get a second job?
But I'm taking care of the kids too, and I'm cooking and I'm cleaning.
But that's just small tasks. You also need to work. You can't be just living in his house not doing anything. What if he doesn't have enough to support the both of you? That's selfish.
I thought I was a stay-at-home mom.
I never said a stay-at-home mom. I said a wife and a mother. Weaponized incompetence is a normal thing, and you should never bring that word to your marriage.
What?
Exactly. See, weaponized incompetence isn't real. It's just a horrible word created by feminists to make you never want to get married.
So, do husbands know how to cook and clean then?
No, that is only your job. A husband does not need to do his laundry, nor does he need to cook, for that is solely the woman's job. If you have a daughter, it will be her job. But a husband does not need to spend 8 hours at work just to come home to clean his house. That is solely your job.
Okay.
Number 5, you cannot have any friends. What? That's right. You cannot have any friends because if you're not with your family, that's cheating.
How is that cheating?
You can do something vile away from your husband. What if one of your single friends convinces you to go to the nightclub and you bump into a guy? That's cheating.
How is that cheating?
It's cheating because you're in the presence of another man looking pretty when you should be around your husband and your children 24/7. So friends are a no-go. Friends are for single feminists who can't find a man and only has a cat.
We have 2 cats, and they're both fat.
I know, we really need to fix that about ourselves.
I love my cats.
Number 6, your looks. A very big thing that leads to divorce rates, and it breaks my heart, is the fact that young women don't try, and be beautiful throughout the entirety of their marriage. It's simple to get your body like Bella Hadid after you give birth, but most women don't try.
Maybe it's because you're popping out an entire human being out your cooter.
And that is just what? A 2-day process?
Alright, you're a robot. She's a robot. She's a robot.
I may be a robot, but I do know the whims of men, and men always fall apart knowing that their wives aren't beautiful after giving birth. It is one of the leading causes of divorce.
Is it?
Well, one of them.
But is it really?
Only cares about work and being independent. Number 2, if you expect a man to be taller than you and make more money than you, don't get upset when he wants you to be younger than him and have a low body count. Your looks do matter. Sorry! A woman's looks is equivalent to a man's net worth, so don't say that you want a rich man if you don't take care of yourself.
I'm just saying, as a woman, once you give birth, if your body doesn't go back to the way it was as you were when you were 17 years old, you're not doing a good job as a wife, and your husband is entitled to divorce you.
Over my looks? Can I divorce him if he gets fat?
No, that's selfish. Number 7, your husband is allowed to cheat.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. I read the Bible. Cheating is wrong. It is wrong all entirely. Like, no.
Nope, not at all, because your husband should be allowed to explore his many options. See, you're at home with the kids, and you're at home taking care of the house. What about him? He works hard. Doesn't he get to go out and enjoy his life?
I don't have any friends. Does he get wait, how is he going out? Let's go back to rule number 5. You said I'm not allowed to have friends. Why is he going out?
Because your husband works hard every day.
What about me? I'm with the kids and I'm cleaning the house.
And that is a woman's job. Your job is to keep the house maintained. Your job is to keep the children well. Your job is to keep food on the table when he's done. All he has to do is go to work and pay the bills and take care of any other outside problems. Is it so wrong for him to want to go out and have a little nookie with another person?
Yes, the fuck it is.
And that is why divorce rates are so high. You always want to make a problem out of everything. Kiki, you need to drop this feminist act and accept the ways of marriage.
This is not marriage.
We'll talk about this later.
No, we need to talk about this right now.
There's one more rule that we must go over.
Fine, what is it?
Consent does not exist.
Number 2, consent doesn't exist in marriage. I know this is going to piss a lot of people off, but when you get married, your body belongs to your husband and your husband's body belongs to you.
You know what? We're not even going to try and debate that one. I want you out of my house. No.
But
No. I don't want to be a trad wife. I don't want to be a Stepford wife. I don't want any of that. I will remain single with my 2 cats and my purple hair. Goodbye.
oh, Kiki.
You don't have a choice in this anymore.
I beg to disagree. So recently, TikTok had some sort of reset or some sort of weird thing happen to it. And all of a sudden, my For You page was full of trad wife core, which, to be honest, I did follow cottage core, cottage, cottage cheese, cottage core when I was younger, when TikTok was just starting, or rather when TikTok was, starting to get popular. I remember seeing a little meme about how Miss Honey was the blueprint for the cottage core lesbian culture. Because that what it was originally. It was a bunch of lesbians just making healthy food. I don't remember much, but that was like one of the memes I do remember. And then all of a sudden it changed to women telling other women that they need to give up everything to be a good wife. Like, shit changed immediately. Like, I do remember seeing clips of Nara Smith just making a bunch of videos from scratch, and I didn't think much of it. And then I found out she was a trad wife, but I also found out that she's not a trad wife, and from what I've seen, I don't think she's really a trad wife. Because some trad wives, or from what I've seen, there are 2 types of versions of this trad wife. There's the trad wives that do stick to the aesthetic of cottagecore, the making your own food, sewing your own clothes, teaching your own children. They stick to that style. But then you have the other side, which does stick to that style, but they like to add on that seasoning of shame, if you will. The ones that tell you that you're being an awful person and that your meaning in life is only to get married and have kids. It's kind of weird. And to me, this type of trad wife core is nothing more but red pill ideology just wrapped up in a cute bow to look feminine and cute. But in reality, this sounds a lot of like the toxic red pill men. And this also got me thinking about a movie, Stepford Wives. Fun fact. I adore this movie in a strange way because it's creepy, but it's pretty. And this will make sense later, but I love just the pretty bright colors of this movie. This movie is a remake of the 1970s version of it, and the 1970s version of it is based off the book, which, fun fact, the same person that made Stepford Wives also made Rosemary's Baby. I never knew that. But then again, I never read the books. I saw the 1970s version. It freaked me out. And then they made sequels like the Stepford Kids, the Stepford Husbands. Oh, there is a universe there is a universe. I wouldn't say all the movies are scary, but it does add suspense of, is someone out there to replace me? It's really creepy. But I want to use the 2004 version because this hits closer to home than you think. So on to the movie. Our film begins with scenes from various TV shows. Our main character, Joanne, is presenting her TV shows to all of her producers because her job is to make reality TV. Early 2000s reality TV was a lot. There was this show called The Swan, and The Swan was, women would just have a full body transformation via surgery and working out. But if I remember correctly, they would go through surgery and then immediately they would work out, like fresh stitches is what I mean. And I'm just sitting here thinking, because if I'm correct, I think one of them had like a nose surgery or lip filler or a facelift, and I'm just thinking to myself, how are you gonna do cardio after having all those needles and tubes pulling at your skin? Like,
brother,
like, 1 week's worth of rest was not enough. Like, they had them working out after they had surgery. No. Just thinking about it makes my skin crawl. I don't know why I watched that. Oh my gosh. And it was all to compete in a pageant. You know how ridiculous that is? What was I saying? Oh yeah, so Joanne made this awful show called I Can Do Better. So basically she brought in a couple on an island to be tempted by opposite sex because she separated the couple. Does this sound a little bit familiar? People on an island being tempted to have sex? Just saying. So the husband doesn't fall for temptation because he only got one partner. But the wife got like 8 partners and she's just like, you know what? I can do better. So she divorces her husband. This causes the husband to go to Joanne's showing and shoot at her. Afterwards, we find out that the husband also killed the wife and all the people, as well as the host. Oh my god. Maybe she was right for leaving him. And because of this, Joanne is fired.
Goodbye, everybody! All the best!
Understandable. So because of this, Joanna has a mental breakdown in the elevator. She's taken to the hospital. Here we meet Walter. Poor Walter. Walter is the vice president of the TV company, but he quit because, he wanted to stand by his woman. Good man, I guess. I don't know. So after all the chaos, he basically tells his wife, let's leave and go someplace else. And she's kind of in agreement. Joanne's kind of in like a zombie-like state, but she's still there, so she agrees. So they pack up their things, their kids, they have kids, and they move to this place called Stepford. There we meet Claire.
because her name is Claire.
Turns out Claire had helped Walter buy the house in Stepford. So once there, Claire helps Joanne and Walter get adjusted in Stepford. Days pass and Joanna would eventually snap out of her like zombie-like daze and come into the world. When she does, Claire shows her around town and I love this scene. She takes her to the Simply Stepford Day Spa. It's where all the women hang out, and there's also a place called the Men's Association, and she has like this exercise routine. All the women are dressed up pretty, and then she's just like, I have this exercise routine so that we can look perfect for our husbands, and it's called Clairobics. And
I call my program Clairobics.
Because her name is Claire.
Because her name is Claire. I don't know how this movie bombed. There's a lot of laughable moments in this film. Like some of these scenes are funny. I don't know why this film bombed. This film bombed. It's funny to me because it's actually really relevant today. So after meeting the wives, Walter, Joanna, and the kids are then going to a town celebration where Joanna wants to just go home because she's uneased with everybody. And to be fair, the ladies are kind of they are weird. Like, they hit on Walter.
Hey, I love you in khakis.
Fuck me badly once, shame on you. Fuck me badly twice, shame on me.
Little experiment.
Now I know why they call it Banana Republic.
They make fun of Joanna because she doesn't dress like them. Like, they're mean and also weird, like cultish, you know? Here we meet Roberta and Roger. These are also outcasts of Stepford, but they're also new to Stepford. Apparently they moved in around the time that Joanna was just knocked out. This is an issue with the movie. It doesn't really tell us the timelines. Like, weeks can go by and we wouldn't even know. So she meets these two. Roberta is all the dudes are gonna laugh at this. I just know it. Roberta is a feminist author who is a recovering alcoholic. She got demons, but also she's possibly the most funniest character in the entire movie. Along with Roger. I love these two characters so much. Roger is a gay architect. He's funny. He's flamboyant. He's out there. I love him. So the three of them get to talking, and Joanna begins to relax to the point that she's able to participate in a dance rodeo kind of thing happening in town. This is the first time we see Joanna smile, mind you, and it's nice. Until one of the wives start acting weird. This woman's name is Sarah, and Sarah starts acting like a broken record.
Honey? Calm down, baby. Do-si-do, 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 do-si-do.
So Joanna is like, okay, we need to get her to a doctor. She is clearly having a stroke. And in normal circumstance, Joanna would be 100% right. But if you watch the scene, you see all the men just becoming angry and just glaring at her, wanting her to get away from the woman. So this random man named Mike comes in, and it turns out he runs Stepford, and Walter and him have already met. So he gets all the guys to push all the women and children away as he does something weird to Sarah. And by weird, sparks come out of her neck. So Joanna's like, she needs to go to a hospital. And Mike's like, she's fine. And Joanna watches this poor woman be dragged by a bunch of men, and she's like, please take her to a hospital. But Mike is like, Walter, control your woman. Basically, Joanna's mad because turns out Sarah's her neighbor, and she's just like, we should be with her trying to check up on her and blah blah. And Walter's like, you embarrass me. I'm tired. You made a fool out of us. Your personality sucks. I want a divorce. And Joanna basically crumbles. I wouldn't say crumble because he's not 100% wrong, but she's not wrong either. It's a lot. But she crumbles to him and says, I'm sorry. I'll do better. I know we agreed to leave. I'll do better. And he's just like, I love you. I just want us to be happy. It's a very heart-to-heart moment, and I do like it personally.
Only high-powered, neurotic, castrating Manhattan career bitches wear black. Is that what you want to be?
Ever since I was a little girl.
So the next scene, Joanna is so... Okay, I need to say this now. I don't hate the wig. I hate the hair pieces that they give Nicole's wig in this movie. I hate this bow. I hate this bow so much. Anyway, She decides to stop wearing black and dark colors and decides to be girly, girly, happy, happy. So she's like, I'm gonna be a Stepford housewife and be pretty, happy, and peppy. And Roger and Roberta see right through her. Roger tells Joanna some news about how Sarah just came home, and Joanne is like, hey, we're neighbors, why don't we go check up on her and see what's up? So the trio makes their way to Sarah's house. There, they enter into the home because there's no, like, crime in Stepford, apparently.
No crime, no poverty, and no pushing.
So they enter into the home. There, they hear Sarah and her husband, bow chicka wow wow, chicka wow wow, chicka chicka wow wow, chicka wow wow. I feel like we understand what I'm saying. So afterwards, Roger, Roberta, and Joanna are just giggling in the corner until Roger finds a remote with Sarah's name on it. Pressing random buttons, this causes Sarah to fall down the stairs, which scares the trio into fleeing over to Roberta's house, which is a fucking pigsty. Holy shit. But Roberta's like, I don't care. Mind you, Roberta's been here for like a few weeks. So here we find out why Roberta and Roger are here. Turns out Roberta broke some laws and she has to be there now. A court order, as she says. And Roger's like, well, my partner's turned into a gay conservative and it's been ruining our marriage. Sorry, our relationship, because this is the early 2000s. Sadly to say, gays didn't have the right to marry back then. But it ruined our relationship and I want things to be different. And he's like, I don't like the fact that my partner's a conservative. Joanna's like, why? And Roger's like, it's just weird. And Roberta agrees. I don't think Joanna's a conservative. I think she was just curious. So after this whole heart-to-heart, Joanna's like, why don't we all try and be better for our families and try to get into the Stepford way and everything? Roger is 100% down, while Roberta is 75% down. Fair enough. We watch the trio do activities around the town while Walter hangs out with the men in the Men Association building. There, we get a big twist to what's going on. See, Joanna was not wrong. Okay, so Walter's playing a robotic game, like he's controlling mini robots and they're destroying each other. And eventually, the men begin to kind of tease Walter for believing that Joanna's gonna change. But Walter's like, hey, no, my wife's gonna change. So Mike tells one of the guys to give Walter money because he owes him money. He then summons his wife into the room. And Walter's like, oh, hey, because he knows the woman. He's like, oh, hey, what are you doing here? Like, he's talking to the woman. But the woman is not responding to him. And Walter's like, is she okay? And the guy gives his wife his card. She eats it. And then she spits out money. What the fuck? Walter's face is my face. Like, what? It's so creepy. Like, and then he turns her off. And then all the men begin to crowd around Walter. And Walter's response is, you know, she only spits out singles. As stupid as his response was, I kind of get it. He's kind of in a dangerous situation. He just witnessed a grown woman spit out money. And he's like, well, this is weird. Let me just play along. Like, Walter's genius at that point. But, like, if I was Walter, well, this is just me. If I was Walter, I would play smart. And then I'd grab my wife and I'd say, we need to get the fuck out of here. You know what? You were right. You were right. We need to go. We need to go. They're gonna put you in some sort of skin suit. We need to leave. Like, I would so be gone. Anyway, so the next day, Walter and Roberta's husband, he's been in the movie the entire time. I just didn't care to talk about him. He comes and picks up Walter, and they go to the men's association because they're having a party at night. They mentioned that Roger is also going to be there, so Roberta gets curious, so she convinces Joanna to go into the mansion to see what's going on. There, the men are able to hear Joanna and Roberta sneak into the mansion, so they send Roger upstairs. As Roger searches for them, the two women find odd paintings of the Stepford families, all just creepy looking in the dark. And Roberta's like, what is going on here? And Joanna's like, maybe it's a town thing. She's like, I don't have any paintings.
But by the time that they're able to, talk more about this, Roger finds them. Roger helps them escape, promising to tell them all the tea tomorrow. But once they're gone, the men take Roger to a room and he stares down in horror. We then fade to the next scene where it's the next day, but Roger is MIA. Where is Roger? So after looking through his trash like a real friend.
And the Versace. Maybe he's donating. To what? The guy homeless?
We are then taken to the town courtyard. I'm sorry, I don't know why this scene makes me laugh, but just how Roger just stands and talks just is so giggly to me, especially when we watched him be flamboyant throughout the entirety of the movie. But Roger is no longer himself. Because
now I know that being gay doesn't mean a guy has to be effeminate or flamboyant or sensitive. I'm no sissy.
I'm the opposing counsel. Yeah, but you're cool, right? No, I'm not cool. I'm uptight and moody. Which is not really the point. It's not.
And now he's running for state senate. What? Where did this come from?
I couldn't take it anymore. I howled. You've become a gay Republican. And he said, what's wrong with that? I said, what's wrong with that? That's like wanting to be gay with a bad haircut.
Exactly.
He likes making buildings. Where did this come from? But he wants to run for state senate, and both Joanna and Roberta are like, something is greatly wrong and we need to get the fuck out of here. They both looked at each other and said, we need to go. Here's what gets me. Joanna's packing her stuff and she's telling Walter that something is wrong. And Walter's like, people change overnight. Here's what gets to me about Joanna in this very second. She knows that Walter was there last night. She knows that Walter was with Roger that night, but she doesn't suspect to ask Walter any questions. She just says, we need to go, something is very wrong. And okay, maybe it's because she was panicking, but Walter in this scene is acting very hostile and mean towards her, and he's like, you're never gonna change. And she looked him dead in his eyes and said, bitch, I'm crazy, but I am not stupid. Something is weird in this town, and we need to get the fuck out of here. And I'm leaving with or without you. So Walter's like, okay, we'll leave tomorrow because the kids are at a summer activity and it's like overnight, so he doesn't want to disrupt it. And I'm sitting here like, I would have gotten the kids and gotten the F out. Are you kidding? Like, no, they can always have another summer night. I'm probably never gonna survive the next night. Fuck that. But Joanna's like, okay, so she sleeps with Walter that night, and the dog wakes her up with a toy in its mouth. Grabbing the toy, she sees that it's similar to the one in Sarah's house, but instead of Sarah, it says Joanna. The dog then leads Joanna to the computer with the home screen of Stepford. There, Joanna gets curious and decides to look up Sarah's full name. And we find out that Sarah used to run an airline. That's not an easy job. And it's not just Sarah. We find out that many of the women who are part of the Stepford day spa committee, which is what they're part of, were originally women who were like lawyers, judges, CEOs. These were big time women. And now they're all, giggly, happy, baking, can do exercise in heels kind of women. And it's not to say that, that can't happen. The question is, why are they all together in this one area acting the same like that when that wasn't their original personality? You feel me? So Joanna, and no, here's another thing. This is another part that gets me about Joanna. Okay, so as she's doing her research, she finds an article about how champion dogs, are being kidnapped. And she looks to the dog, and the dog is whimpering, basically telling her, yeah, that's me. And here's what gets me. She goes to bed. I would have been gone. The dog told you. The dog woke you up, took you to the computer, and basically told you, yeah, that was me. And you go to bed? You go to bed? This is why I can't stand Joanna in some scenes. Like, okay, no, okay, why would you go to bed? I would have been so gone by then. Like, no, No. I would have gotten my kids and I would have left. They can be traumatized for all I care. We would have been so gone. I would have left Walter at that point. Walter's fine. Like, no, forget him. Like, I'll call him the next day and tell him where I am. But, like, no, I would have been so gone. Like, ugh. Because, fun fact, the next day, Roberta is now a Stepford wife. She's blonde, she's giddy, and the house is clean. Oh, crap. So, Joanna finally gets the hint and goes to get her kids. Only that her kids are not at the school anymore. Daddy-O picked them up. Shite. So now we are at the final, well, not the final scene, but like the climax. So now Joanna, worried about her children, rushes to the one place she knows where Walter is, the Men's Association Club. Running to the mansion, she demands to know where her children are. She is then approached by Walter, and Walter, with all the men surrounding him, and I need to point this out now, notice how they're all wearing red blazers. Well, it kind of looks burgundy, but you know, it's still supposed to be somewhat red. So Walter goes into this long spiel about how he's been the woman in their relationship and it pisses him off. And all the men agree with Walter by saying that they too have been the women in their relationship. And Joanna's like, but your wives loved you.
We're the wuss. The wind beneath your wings, your support system. We're the girl.
And we don't like
No,
it.
we don't.
Yeah, that's
Damn right, man.
And all the men are like, it doesn't matter. We were treated like the women. And we don't like being treated like the women in our relationship. Like, basically, that's them. Like, seriously. Because by the end of the day, they were still in loving relationships. Whatever. And even one of the husbands admits to that. And it's whatever. So, Joanna basically asks Walter, is this what you want? You want to kill me? And replace me with a robot? And then Mike comes around the corner and is like, no. We don't kill you. No. You become the robot. Oh no. Turns out Mike sticks a bunch of chips into a woman's brain, and these chips are supposed to control the brain waves of something to turn her into a pretty nice, happy person with clear skin and long blonde hair. And it's like, Joanna's like, she looks to Walter and is like, is this what you want? Is this, you want a robot? You want a robot and not me? Like the person you married? Like, yeah, we got problems, dude, but like, I still love you. I was willing to change. But Walter's like, I want a robot. So she becomes a robot. Joanna. I'm sorry. Like, I hate the plot. Like watching Joanna just fight to not become this. It's also the fact that she had many chances to run away, like the dog, and she still didn't run away when she had a chance. Like, whatever. So days pass and Stepford is having a ball. At this ball, Joanna and Walter are being presented as the newest family to Stepford, because I guess Joanna has been a robot long enough. So during this, Joanna asks Mike for a dance and Claire asks Walter for a dance. But Walter sneaks away to go, as he says, check on something. He is able to get into the lab where Mike keeps some sort of digital hologram glass touchscreen technology thing of the ladies that controls their skin bodysuits. It's never really explained exactly what these things are. I'm gonna call them skin suits. But basically, Walter is able to find the control panel for the skin suits, and he plays around with Sarah's control panel, basically overriding the system and causes the chips to, I'd say, explode.
Nano reversal completed. Deleting Stepford program.
Walter basically destroys all the control panels, freeing all the women from their robotic control. This causes all the men to panic as the women attack them. Just as Mike comes out to try to fix or calm the problem, Walter comes out as well, and he reveals to Mike that he never turned Joanna into a doll.
Do it. Why not? Because she's not a science project. Because I didn't marry something from Radio Shack.
I'm going to assume that he did the exact same thing to Joanna that he did to all the women's control panels. This causes Mike to get upset, so he tries to kill Walter with a candlestick, but Joanna quickly ends that by getting to Mike first. And this I'm sorry, I love this. So, turns out Mike's a robot.
Don't you touch him!
And everyone's like, wait a minute, he's a robot? And Claire has a mental breakdown. And we find out that it was never Mike, but it was Claire who was doing all of this. Turns out she's like some sort of advanced genius when it comes to robotics, and she was a hardworking lady, but she never gave time to her husband, so he had an affair with her assistant, and she killed them both in anger. But then she felt sad and was just like, I need to go help women and stop them from making the same choices as I did. And Joanna's like, why? Your husband betrayed you. And she's like, because women have lost their way of life. And then she kisses her robotic husband on the mouth and dies. This is so funny, I'm sorry. It just had that weird like cartoonish shit going on in the end. Like how she gets shot. What the fuck is this? I'm sorry. What was I talking about? Alright. 6 months pass. Finally, they give us a timeline. 6 months pass, and we're on the Larry King show. You remember Larry King? Larry King show. Our trio have advanced in life. Turns out, okay, so Joanna had made a 6-episode documentary series of the entire event. Roger ran for state senate, and he ran as an independent. And Roberta wrote a book about her experiences while being in the skin suit.
So I've written my very first book of poetry, and it's all about hope and communication and the healing power of love.
What is it called?
Wait until he's asleep, then cut it off. It's a page turner.
I cried.
Now, Rod.
Last 2 questions. One was to Joanna, and it was, how's your relationship with Walter? And she's just like, we're not perfect, but that is something that we know that we can work through. And you know what? I like that ending. Oh yeah, and the men are all under house arrest. The end. By the end of the day, this movie was fun. It was goofy, it was stupid, but it was fun. It was, in my words, lighthearted cosmic horror fun. I'm pretty sure that's a movie genre somewhere. Anyway, you can watch this film. It related to so much bullshit in today's world. The Men's Association, nothing more but the red pill. Claire is the Christian trad wife who shames all the women in the world who aren't like her, you know, petite, healthy, virginal, that kind of crap.
Just like tangible things, be in the Word, follow God, work out, stay in shape, stay attractive.
Mike being a robot represents Wi-Fi. Joanna represents the girl boss that just overworks and has a burnout. Roberta represents the aftermath of that burnout, just bitter, angry, and just very negative to be around. Roger and his relationship represents, you know, the LGBTQ rainbow people. Sparkle, sparkle. There is so many references to real life, which amazes me because this movie is like, what, 21 years old? 22 years old? This movie was telling us everything 20 years plus from the past, and we weren't listening. Or rather, we just fell into the trap. And as I think hard on the movie and see today, I've come to the realization that I want a Walter. I just want someone that loves me for me and sees me as an equal, because all the husbands sucked. Even the robot Mike. The robot Mike was flirting with Joanna at some point. It was disgusting. And like Sarah's husband took advantage of her after one of her chips malfunctioned. That's disturbing. Like, you don't even have the compassion just to wait until your wife's better. That's messed up. But with all that being said, I still believe in love. And that's what this movie is all about. It's supposed to be throughout the good and the bad. you're equal and you love each other. And that's what Walter and Joanna's love was in the end. And it was so powerful that it freed all the women from Stepford